Uncommon Sense with the Senior Delinquents.
Hey, it's me again. Showing you the free shit they sent me that you can get too. Let's get started. You know, the next time you smoke crack, check out this baby, huh? The Democrat pipe. One puff, got my vote. It's cold out there, but here's something that keeps my ass warm. Fetterman Fleecem. Free, free, free. It's a Fetterman no-brainer. Hey, next time you go shopping, don't get shelf-shocked trying to carry too much stuff. What you need is Kamala's Big Box Maggie. It's big and it's infiltrated, instipated, will keep shit cold. LSD flashback. Could I have these when I stare at the sun? Peeps, peeps. I was blown away. Till next time, remember, if you're in the tent, it don't cost you a cent.
Between shopping malls trying to stay alive, cable shopping networks, online e-tailers, you didn't have time to catch your breath before new waves of people selling products on apps like Instagram and TikTok started coming for your wallet. That's the theme of today's show, Influencers. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with the Senior Delinquents. Well, some things, like human nature, never change. They just take different shapes.
Hello, America!
Today we welcome Sharon Geller, an extremely versatile talent who's best known for her work as a comedic actress, having appeared on Saturday Night Live, on numerous commercials.
I hear his wife needed help with the funeral expenses.
I teach people how to think more quickly on your feet.
And performing and teaching improv. Now, this last skill has proven invaluable because her skill in this area has led to hundreds of appearances as a guest host on the QVC Shopping Network. Well, hello, Sharon. It's so good to see you again.
Hey, Jamie, it's nice to be seen. Thank you for having me.
Well, back when I lived in the Philadelphia area, we had the pleasure of working on numerous things, a lot of them very much humor-oriented. And today, even though the show's on influencers, we are taking a step back in time to a degree because I believe the genesis of all of what's happening today was with QVC, cable television, and more importantly, it was instant feedback, and advertisers dreamed that they didn't have to wait very long to see whether their product was successful or not. Another component is the evolution of the on-camera host. In your case, you are an influencer because you influence people to buy the product. Tell me how you got involved with QVC.
Well, I was teaching a comedy improv class at the Walnut Street Theater. One of my students says to me one day, "Hey, Sharon, a friend of mine gets talent and puts them on QVC. And he asked me if I knew anyone. And I thought of you because you're so quick on your feet. I thought maybe this would be perfect for you." So my audition for QVC consisted of meeting two women in a Starbucks. We talked a little bit about what would happen on QVC because I'm used to being on camera and I'm great with improv. So if things don't go as they expected on live TV, I can go with the flow. So they said, "You're in." And that was my audition for QVC.
Was there a learning curve in terms of your first time? And what was that like? Was it a little bit scary?
Oh, sure, because it's always nerve-wracking when you're in front of the camera and the TV is live, but you're selling things. It's very invigorating. It's the kind of nerves that are good nerves. There's a lot going on when you're on QVC. You have your earpiece, the control room is talking to you. It may be giving you directions. It may be saying something like, "Hey, when you move like this, we got a spike in sales, so do that again." If you memorize A, B, and C and your host you're on with asks you about C, you can't say, wait a minute, let me talk about A and B first.
Obviously, the product has to be something that, works or people believe works, but there has to be also the bonding with the person delivering the message.
Listen, this Saturday evening, I will be joining QVC to introduce my new classics collection of fashion jewelry. It's just beautiful, and you're going to love it.
Tell me a little about that, uh, being able to bond with an audience that they're real people, but they're not there in the studio with you.
Connection and chemistry is very important in life, whether you're standing in front of people or whether you're talking into a camera. Luckily for me, the QVC hosts who I'm always appearing on camera with, they're excellent at their job. They're so great at making you feel comfortable. And that's a big part of it. I'd love our QVC viewers to know that if these gorgeous colors and this beautiful Ramage design does not match your home decor. And so far as connecting with the audience at home, the viewer at home wants to see someone they can relate to. So it never hurts to tell a personal story that you've had with the product or how it's made your life better. And I do think you have to believe in your product. And I feel I've been very lucky in being in the gift and novelty category because so many of those products have been who I am. They're whimsical, they're fun, they improve your life. And yes, so it's very easy for me to make a connection with the viewer at home.
Did they say, Sharon, I'd like you to work with me because, or was it the producers? And the second thing is, did you ever have to go solo, which is really what most of the influencers do now, not working with somebody?
First of all, you don't get to pick which host you want to work with. Your product is, which is much more important than anything else, is slotted into a certain show. So there's a home and garden show and there's a gift and novelty show. During the pandemic, we were broadcasting from home. It was interesting because I've never been at a loss for words, and but I've never also just been me presenting the product. So so it was challenging because I had to also say what a product was, what the price point is, sales. Oh, I just heard from the control room that we're doing great,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And of course, you have to go through the detail of the product.
Maybe without naming the product, you could tell us when something is really, really difficult to sell. How do you deal with that?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that I have turned down offers to sell products because if I can't
Ah.
connect with something, I was asked to sell a calculator. You have to demo it live on TV. And there was another piece of technology. I actually turned that down because I didn't feel that I would be comfortable demoing it. Jamie, I always feel like I can learn anything I need to learn, but I do want to feel comfortable with the product. So and then sometimes you're on with a product that you feel comfortable with. In fact, you love, and you do all the right things, and you say all the right words, and you move the way you're supposed to move, and everything's perfect. And guess what? It doesn't fly. And sometimes that could be the day of the week it is, the time of the day it is. It could be where we are in the week. It could be the season of the year. There's so many reasons why a product could be great, but just doesn't fly. And so what I do is I talk to the client, see how I can make things better the next time. And then sometimes that's just the way it goes.
Sharon, thank you for your insights into what you've done so successfully. Anybody watching the show, if you have a chance to see Sharon Geller perform, or if you're interested in improv and in the Philadelphia area, you want to check it out.
Jamie, it was my pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Welcome, Lauren West. She is an influencer in the Tampa area, and she's got a lot of interesting material I think you'll want to hear about because this is something that most people don't know. And Lauren, to start us off, how do you become an influencer?
I organically started as an influencer just through my sales position, and I was in alcohol sales. I still am. I started my career working for Anheuser-Busch as a beer rep, and I was growing my network professionally in the Tampa Bay area, getting to know the owner, chef, the new restaurants, the new bars, everything that was happening in Tampa Bay, and I would start posting about it. You remember when it first started, September, love was changing the mind. Sharing these new businesses and announcing, oh, we have this new restaurant coming to downtown Tampa. People would always rely on me for reservations and being in the know of like the restaurant scene in Tampa. Somebody posted about a Daniel Wellington watch, promoting it, and I felt like completely influenced, and I wanted to get a Daniel Wellington watch. So I reached out to them. I said, if you send me a watch, I will do a photo shoot with your, I'll give you valuable content. I will promote it within my network. I have a huge network in Tampa. And I did it, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I understood the concept. Every partnership I have is a new learning experience, because you have to understand your client, understand their needs, how you can bring value to their business, and how you can benefit and help them grow revenue and sell. So I am a natural saleswoman, and I think that helps a lot as the influencer, because really, if you look up the definition of sales, it's influencing other decisions. So it was kind of like a perfect fit for what I'm professionally good at. So that's kind of the backstory, and I took that and I ran with it, and I started pitching myself to brands and connecting with more and more, and just building my resume. And it's always been a fun little hobby side hustle for me, and I'm very thankful for all the experiences and businesses I've worked with and relationships I've made from it, and yeah, still learning, still growing. So
Organically, it went from there to actually becoming a salesperson for the product. And how does this get matched up? At some point, do they come to you, or do you sort of look around and say, I think these products would be a good fit? How does that work?
it's definitely a mix. At the beginning, especially, I was selling myself to all these brands. And now it's kind of reversed because I've worked with so many clients. Your name gets put in the database of influencers, so people who are targeting growth in the Tampa area. And I'm constantly getting reached out to in email. That gives me leverage to monetize the partnership whenever they're reaching out to me. Whenever I'm pitching, I like to say everything's negotiable.
How much is the product and how much is the trust being an influencer make that sale? Because I trust Lauren.
A lot of it is that. Always just being honest is the most important.
Now, you being in television, the easier it looks usually means the more effort went into making it look easy, putting in the work. Is that the case with being an influencer?
Absolutely. I think it's much more difficult than people see on Instagram. Everything looks picture perfect. It actually took 80 shots of this one shot for me to get to this one, and me yelling at my husband to get the right angle.
Actually, as part of the learning curve, you do learn to be producer, director, writer, et cetera, multi-skills to do this job. And let's go out on this note. How competitive a field is being an influencer?
It's very saturated. Sometimes we'll go to influencer events, and there is a weird dynamic where it's we're all there, but we don't know each other that well, but we know each other on social media, and can sometimes be an awkwardness because it's you think you know a person through the internet, and then they end up being way different than you kind of envision them. There's competition, especially for the social media management companies. They really want those clients to hire them, so that's a whole other thing. Luckily for me, I do have a full-time job in alcohol sales, so I don't take it as serious as some do because it's their full-time profession.
Right.
Whereas I have the flexibility, and I don't really have the time to take on every job, so I like to be pretty choosy. But I always say, if you are really good at being a content creator full-time, stick to that. Do what's best for you.
Lauren, thank you for being on our program. I always end the show with a drink, so this has been very apropos.
Thank you.
Let's hope we both hit that sweet spot and look forward to seeing you again in the near future.
Thank you, Jamie.
Check out the Senior Delinquents website where all the programs are available. Also, you can find us on many other platforms via the internet. Unfortunately, my esteemed co-host Dennis Silvers had to attend to his health this week and couldn't make the show. I had my own problems, having had a nightmare with a bad influencer. Ow! Fortunately, I woke up. But I'm so shaken, instead of my usual martini, it's a beer from the oldest brewery in America. Cheers.